NHL 26 Imperialism has 3 rules. First, you spin the team wheel. Then you spin the direction arrow. Whatever team it lands on has to travel in whatever direction the arrow pointed until they either run into another team or a power-up. If they run into another team, they have to duke it out. Losing team is eliminated. Winning team takes their land and best player. Last team standing wins. Our first team is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning, almost Toronto, and the Tampa Bay Lightning will be headed almost straight up. Now, this could hit either Nashville or the Hurricanes, but I feel like most of the places you go from Florida to that direction, you're gonna run into Nashville. Nashville Predators versus Tampa Bay Lightning is our first game. I'll say it, Tampa's probably a heavy favorite in this game, but through the first period, they're tied, and Tampa opens up a can of whoop ass. Cooch, Marchessault is trying his best in the first period, but I mean, the entire Tampa Bay lineup, every single player, just beat up on Nashville. Tampa Bay eliminates the first team, the Nashville Predators, 6-3. Because Tampa Bay came away victorious, they do get to take the best player from Nashville. So Roman Josi is going to be headed to Tampa Bay. I don't know which state exactly they traveled through to get to Nashville, but we're just going to take both of them. Tampa Bay is going to cover quite a lot of ground pretty early on. Our next team in the NHL 26 Imperialism Challenge is going to be the Boston Bruins. Our direction is going to be almost straight down. Boston, if they go down, I mean, they could face New York. I guess there's no way for them to get to Jersey without, or whatever this little nub is maybe, but I'm not a geologist, so we're just going to say New York Islanders versus Boston Bruins. Boston versus Islanders. Who's coming out on top first period? Boston has a 1-0 lead, still a 1-goal lead, and this is our first close game. I'm not gonna watch every single game, but if we do get some close matches, overtimes, big hitting teams, and especially later in this video, I will watch CPU versus CPU games. Obviously, you guys aren't gonna have to watch the entirety of the CPU play each other. You'll just see the highlights, but I will sit through and see what happens.
A few moments later.
50 seconds left. Dumped clean into New York zone. Huge change from Boston here. It looks like this game is coming to a close. No comeback for New York unless they can pull something out of their rectum with 35 seconds left. Doesn't look like they can. They pulled their goalie, but Boston survives, eliminating the New York Islanders. Boston gets to pick up the best player from the Islanders. We could go with goalie here. I mean, I did say best player, even if he's not a skater, and they already have a goalie. Still going to send Sorokin over to Boston. Along with picking up their extra player, Boston is, of course, going to pick up a little bit of extra land. Not very much, though. Just a little chunk, a little extra for them. Our third round, and our next team is going to be the Calgary Flames. Calgary, what direction are they headed? To the right. Calgary is going to be the first team to pick up a power-up, and they got a player power-up, meaning they get to spin the wheel of players. There's only 4 player power-ups, and there's only 4 players to choose from, and Calgary will be adding Mario Lemieux. That also means they claim this extra land, making them more vulnerable to attacks from more places, but now that they have Lemieux on their team, they should be more comfortable facing more teams. Lemieux is a 96 overall sniper. That is going to be huge for the Calgary Flames. Our next team is going to be the Washington Capitals. Ovechkin and the Caps are going to be traveling to the right and down. Most likely down because there is nobody to the right, meaning Washington is going to go take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Washington versus Carolina. First period, Carolina goes up 2-0. Jordan Staal puts one in. 5-4. Huge second period, including a goal from Ovi. And the last period, Carolina is going to end up pulling away off of Sebastian Aho. That means the Carolina Hurricanes are going to end up having Alexander Ovechkin on their team. Interesting shakeups around the league already. There's not really a bunch of land for the Hurricanes to take, so we're just gonna go up here and take some Virginias, I guess. Now we've got a really intense situation for this power-up player. Blackhawks, Blues, potentially the Red Wings, Columbus, the Hurricanes, Tampa Bay can all get this power-up. I tried to put the power-ups, you know, right next to the bad teams to give them more of a chance and make it more interesting, but there's only so much you can do. Worst case scenario, Florida comes up, beats Tampa, picks up this power up, but that probably won't happen. Our next NHL team is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes again. Wow, which direction are they going? Are they going to snag up that power up? No, headed in the complete opposite direction. Which way is that arrow pointing? This might just be, I mean, there's a litany of teams depending on where you go from Carolina, but I kind of like this matchup between Carolina and New Jersey. They're both the same kind of color, so I'm going to fudge the numbers, and that's the matchup we're going to see. Here we go, Carolina and New Jersey, period 1. Jesper Bratt puts them up 1-0, and then a flurry of goals come down. Nico Hischier, Timo Meier, Mr. Brown. It looks like New Jersey's going to pull away 5 rip for this one. Wow, Carolina had a short run. There are 390 overall players I can pick from here. Sebastian Aho and Jacob Slavin are definitely good options here. Very good players, but I mean, I can't let Ovechkin leave this video that soon. He's going to travel again the very next game over to the New Jersey Devils to play with Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt. These are some huge plays for New Jersey, who's going to take a lot of land on their very first conquest, putting themselves in the sweepstakes for that brand new legend. New Jersey is here. The map has changed a little bit, but there hasn't been too much movement. The West Coast is entirely untouched. None of the little mushroom power-ups have been activated yet. There's a big clog of teams over in the East that still haven't played, but who knows, maybe our next team will be in that giant clog. Our next squad is the New Jersey Devils again. Wow, repeat city right now. New Jersey is going to be traveling up. Again, not hitting on that player. We've got 3 options here. I'm going to take the one in the middle, the Pittsburgh Penguins versus New Jersey. I'd say New Jersey's the favorite, and we are getting an Ovi-Sid matchup. If New Jersey can beat the Pittsburgh Penguins, Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby could be on the same team already. Pittsburgh versus New Jersey. Period number 1, tied 1-1. Period 2, tied 1-1. Period 3, New Jersey Devils pull away. Crosby tries his hardest, but he's gonna have to try his hardest alongside Ovechkin. New Jersey is an early favorite to take the whole thing home. And unless the West Coast can start, you know, fighting each other, picking up some of their own players, New Jersey might just swallow the entire map and become too good before any team could even possibly compete with them. This one is easy. Sidney Crosby joining the Devils. Look at this squad. Crosby, Hughes, Bratt, Ovechkin, Hischier, Hamilton. I mean, they get, if they would have had Slavin on this team, I like the idea of Ovechkin, but a nice lockdown defenseman up there. This is a very, very good squad. What's even more worrisome about this is that New Jersey is kind of putting themselves in the middle of a bunch of teams. They're going to get a ton of opportunities to play teams who aren't going to be as good as them. Columbus, the Flyers, the Sabres, potentially the Leafs. You know, any number of teams can come down here and play New Jersey, and they're not going to be able to stand a chance unless we get some of these teams up here to sweep down, collect talent. Maybe if the Wild come through with a power-up. New Jersey has not taken a ton of land, but they have taken a ton of talent. Stop! I'm here to interrupt you to bring you some breaking news. YouTube just announced an update where the subscribe button is completely free. That's right, before it cost money, but now it's free. You should consider hitting it. I don't know, if you want to. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing. That's all I came here to say. Back to the video. Let's see who our next team is. Can someone set up to stop New Jersey? Just what I talked about, Toronto. Whether they win or lose, this could be good to build a team to challenge New Jersey. Toronto is going to be headed straight up and to the left. There is absolutely no question on where Toronto's heading. They're facing the Senators, a repeat of the first round playoffs. This will be an important matchup. First period, Toronto Senators 0-0. Second period, willy-nilly puts them up by 1. Final period, no more goals. Wow, a 1-0 contest as tight as it could be. And Toronto, after losing Mitch Marner in free agency, is going to pick up Tim Stützle from the Ottawa Senators. 90 overall, a good addition to be sure. But, you know, everyone knows what Toronto needs. They need a goalie and they need defense. I mean, at least Toronto won the battle for Ontario. So that's a plus. I think this is Ontario. I'm not a geologist. I don't live in Canada. I don't even know the 50 states, man. So we're going to have to bear with me for the state names, but I don't think you're really here for a geology lesson. Our next NHL team in NHL 26 Imperialism is the Anaheim Ducks. Finally, a team on the West Coast. Which way will they be heading? Straight up, staying in California, I presume, and I am correct. This could be Golden Knights or it could be LA. Either way, it's not looking good for Anaheim, but since the border is larger with their fellow LA team, I'm going to take this battle to the Kings. Although the arrow is favoring the right, so I'm actually going to take this battle to Vegas. I got to say, this is probably the end of the road for the Ducks. I did put a power up right next to them, hoping they would maybe hit it and go on a miracle run, but it looks like they're about to get their pants torn off and they're going to get touched. Period 1. They're putting up a little bit of a fight. Oh, actually, hold on. Anaheim could come away with Jack Eichel, and they're going to. Anaheim upsets Vegas 5-4. Toronto just won without Mitch Marner, and Mitch Marner is gone already. Jack Eichel over to the Anaheim Ducks. Somehow this team beat Vegas. You don't question it. You just go with it. That does put the Ducks in a spot where they're pretty vulnerable. They can kind of get attacked from any angle now, but they're also in a spot where they can pick up 2 power-ups. A player up here, a mushroom down here. And they're vulnerable from the Mammoths, the Sharks. The Kings could cause a problem. And also any game can be an upset, as we just saw. But hopefully this could be the start of something huge on the West Coast. Our next hockey team is going to be the Anaheim Ducks again? What is going on? The Ducks do have a chance to claim a power-up here, but I think they missed that. I think they travel right and head to Utah for the Mammoths. They almost picked up a legend. All right, period 1 tied 1-1. Period 2, Anaheim pulls away. I don't know, maybe Jack Eichel's getting on the sheet in assists, but he's definitely not in goals. Period 3, the Ducks do pull away. We've got New Jersey in the East and Anaheim in the West. Are these the 2 absolute titans who will be facing off against each other in the very last game? I have no clue, but that is the way it's shaking up. Clayton Keller is going to be headed to the Anaheim Ducks. A lot of new space here for Anaheim, but even if they do pick up all these players and they are getting better, they are now next to the Avalanche and they can definitely lose that game. Although if they win that game, they could take Nathan McKinnon. If the Avs win that game, they could have Jack Eichel. Right down here in the middle of everything is Dallas, who even if a team picked up a bunch of great players, it's one game, it's single elimination. Dallas could be dangerous no matter what. The wheel is getting smaller and smaller, and our next squad is going to be the Columbus Blue Jackets, almost the Dallas Stars. Columbus is going to be heading up and to the left to face the Detroit Red Wings. They did have a chance at a power-up player, but they want the smoke. They want to come in and take Dylan Larkin? Is Larkin too old to still be the best player? I don't know. First period tied 2-2. Okay, second period, Detroit goes up. And it looks like the attackers are on the back foot in this situation as Detroit comes away 3-5 win against Columbus. Probably taking Zach Werenski here. Not even probably, definitely taking him. He is a 92 overall. And Dylan Larkin technically was the highest rated player on Detroit, tied with Lucas Raymond. A couple of small territories claimed by some smaller teams, hopefully building up a couple of teams who can challenge New Jersey here. They could pick up this power up. Our next squad we're going to run with the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota is right next to a power-up, and I think they're going to pick it up. It's a little bit biased towards the up here on this arrow, but I mean, this could be Toronto, and it is pointed up a little bit. I think I got to go to the Leafs against the Wild. They do share more of a border, but because that arrow's pointed up, it's going to be a Wild Leafs matchup. Not many power-ups showing up yet. And the one power-up we did get with the Flames, they have not played a game yet. In the first period, Toronto is going to go up. Of course, they picked up another player. And it looks like the Maple Leafs are going to pick up Kaprizov. Wow. Leafs are actually looking very dangerous. Is that an original statement? The first time anyone said that. I'm a Leafs fan, so I should know. Kirill Kaprizov, 94 overall, headed to Toronto. Another big pickup for the defending team. This puts them right in the middle of those power-up sweepstakes, but also, I mean, not real. Oh, I guess it technically puts them between almost three power-ups here. They can take this power-up to the left, and then they get a little bit of a down arrow here. They can take this player power-up too. Could also pick up Connor Hellebuck from the Jets here. A lot of options for them, but hopefully we can get a new team, maybe a power-up going here. Seattle Kraken are close to a power-up. They are going to be headed straight to the right, and straight to the right is the player power-up. They were kind of in a goated spot, basically straight to the right. Like anyways, you know, they're sharing this border with this little I think this is Idaho, the state. It's kind of got like a little dick going on here. Enough of that. Let's head to the player wheel. There's only 3 players left. All of them are legends, and they're going to pick up Paul Coffey. Wayne Gretzky and Lindstrom are still here. I did have a little bit of an issue. Originally, I had a couple of other players that I wanted to potentially put in the player wheel, but they don't actually have the rights to every single all-time player. I think that's the reason they're not on here. Maybe I'm just stupid and can't find them, but Paul Coffey on the Seattle Kraken. Our next team, we're looking at the Vancouver Canucks, almost the Winnipeg Jets, right next to Seattle. They could go out, throw some hands right now with them, but okay. Vancouver wants to go straight up. I guess technically, if we're extrapolating, the closest team is the Oilers. That's closer than wrapping all the way around to Seattle, and Calgary would be in between the Oilers and Seattle. It's going to be the Vancouver Canucks versus the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to be honest, this is a tremendous opportunity for Edmonton. More than anything, they get a chance to pick up Quinn Hughes and become, I mean, quite possibly the most talented offensive team of all time, you know, barring Gretzky. Period number 1. Vancouver, okay, it was a great opportunity for Edmonton, but it looks like Vancouver's putting belt to ass. Edmonton is going to be gone. Leon Draisaitl is out. Bouchard is out. Vancouver is going to pick up Connor McDavid. The highest rated player is headed to the highest, tied for highest rated defenseman with Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes. This is obviously a huge thing for Vancouver, but as I was constructing this map, I really thought the Oilers were in a great spot. They're already a great team. They can pick up an amazing defenseman. They had a power-up right next to them. They could pick up somebody from Calgary. They had this great Winnipeg team where they could pick up a great goalie. I thought they were in a perfect spot to absolutely mow down the competition, but it looks like they're going to get absolutely mowed down themselves straight off the rip by Vancouver. And the wheel shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, smaller and smaller. The Seattle Kraken are going again. What direction are the Kraken going? Hopefully not to Vancouver. Oh my God. The closest team to that arrow is going to be Vancouver. They had a power up right here that they could have taken. They could have gone to San Jose by some miracle, or even, honestly, the Ducks might have been a more favorable team. Instead, they're going to head up and face the Vancouver Canucks. Paul Coffey, will he be enough? Probably not. Paul Coffey is probably going to spend some time next to Connor McDavid. A couple of Oilers legends. Here we go. Period number 1. Seattle does go up 2-0. They stay up 2-0. Period 2. Wow. McDavid is out already. Wait, no, he's not. McDavid can't be out unless someone gets a power-up Gretzky and then knocks him out, because he's going to be the highest overall. Okay. Disregard that. McDavid is not out already because he is the highest rated player on Vancouver. He will be joining Paul Coffey on the Seattle Kraken. two of the greatest Edmonton Oilers players of all time. And Seattle picks up a pretty significant chunk of land here, parking themselves next to that Mario Lemieux Flames and this power up over here. Our NHL team is going to be finally the Dallas Stars step in, a team kind of all by themselves down in Texas. They do have a chance at a power up, but I'm hoping they play a team. Of course, the arrow goes directly down where there are no hockey teams. But if we follow that logic, oh man, a Dallas v Florida matchup? No, I mean, no. There are no boats. This is not Frozen, okay? They gotta play Tampa, right? Because I couldn't have Dallas here and over here. Yeah, I'm seeing Dallas is traveling right through these states. Some maybe Mississippi and Louisiana did I get an A in geography? Maybe, but I'm not a geographist, so I think Dallas plays Tampa here. And these are two pretty heavy hitting squads at the moment. Dallas has not made any additions yet, but they're still a pretty good team. They make it pretty far every year, as, you know, explained by a 1-0 lead from the douche, a 3-0 lead from Johnston and Steele. Wow. Holy comeback. Nikita Kucherov has ice in his veins on the power play, along with McDonough. Let's go in and watch this overtime.
1 hour later.
Here we go. Yo. All right. You guys had your chance to play. Jamie Benn, you want to pull that shit? You're getting simulated. Oh, Dallas wins. Was that anticlimactic? Yes, very. But I'm not going to sit here at the start of the video and watch triple, quadruple overtime from some AIs. Dallas wins. They get to steal a player from Tampa Bay, and it's going to be Nikita Kucherov. Sorry to all my Tampa fans out there. You didn't even get to see your team lose, but maybe Jamie Benn shouldn't be ripping backhanded shots from the point straight to the other team. Dallas, however, is going to pick up one of the largest land acquisitions we've seen so far. I mean, this is definitely the largest land acquisition so far. A huge loss for Tampa. Our next squad on the wheel of teams, the New Jersey Devils, finally make their return with their super squad. And they're going to be headed to the right. I don't think they have much to the right of them. I actually don't remember the state of New Jersey right now. They don't have anything. And since it was to the right and down, they're actually going to be traveling down through. See, I don't know what state this is. I mean, I've never seen this state before in my life. They're going to be traveling down through this state into Dallas. This is also going to be, just like last game, a pretty heavyweight matchup. I do think New Jersey has the edge here. They've picked up too many good players, but Dallas also did just pick up Nikita Kucherov, and you got to think about that. First period, no goals at all. Second period, no goals at all. All of the talent on these two teams, and no one's going to score until the third, and New Jersey lights it up. What the? Where is the top end talent on New Jersey? Cooch scored one, Hintz scored one. I mean, where's Crosby, Hughes, Pratt, Ovechkin, the most goals all time, and we're not putting up one here? Doesn't matter. Nikita Kucherov is now on the New Jersey Devils, and if they weren't the favorites before, they're easily the favorites now. Let's actually go in and see what exactly this New Jersey team is going to look like with Kucherov. I haven't been making the lines myself because I don't have that much time, so I'm just going with head coach preferred lines. But oh my God, look at this squad. I mean, this is just disgusting. A absolutely filthy, gross top six, along with Nico Hischier as your third line center. I mean, I think Dallas, did we just say Dallas just had the largest land acquisition? New Jersey is definitely having the largest now because Dallas is the biggest. I keep calling them Dallas. I should probably call them the Stars because they're not Dallas. They're now all the Devils, or should I say they're all New Jersey. God, what a hell that would be. Everywhere becomes New Jersey. Could take this little chunk over here too. Still don't know what state this is. Let me know in the comments. What state is this? When we get an arrow that goes up, how do I even play this? I have no clue. Our next team is going to be Toronto once again. The potential New Jersey Killers are looking to add to their team or possibly get upset. They're heading southwest. A very interesting direction. If we go from back here in Toronto, that could be to this power up, but I think we got to go from the southwest corner, and it looks like Toronto is going to be journeying over to Colorado to try and pick up even more offensive talent in the form of Nathan MacKinnon. This is a very big matchup. It does bridge the gap from Toronto all the way over to where the Ducks are. But first, I mean, if Toronto wants to be the team to take on the Ducks, they got to beat the Avs. And, you know, Toronto's picked up a lot, or not an extreme amount of talent, but Kaprizov, Stützle, great players. They still are going to have to get past Necas, Makar, and MacKinnon. A tough matchup no matter the circumstances, but their new guy, Kaprizov, puts him up. Morgan Riley puts him up. MacKinnon is dogging out. He wants a say in this game, but John Tavares is going to put Colorado away. Nathan MacKinnon is going to make his way over to the Leafs. And let's check out this Leafs lineup too. Are they good enough to challenge New Jersey? Maybe not yet. They're definitely close, but this is definitely not a perfect squad. Obviously, thin defense, just like New Jersey, along with no 1A goaltender, just like New Jersey. Great offensive talent, but I think slightly edged out by New Jersey, which could end up being a little bit of an issue for all the Leafs fans out there rooting for your Leafs, because they are at the center of the board. You know, they could take a bunch of little players from all these teams who haven't had enough opportunities to improve, but that also puts them within striking distance of New Jersey, right next to Texas. All right, next up, a lot of names being depleted on this wheel. Anaheim comeback? No. Boston? No, it is Anaheim. It is going to be Anaheim. We could see Toronto matchup here, but we don't. They're going to be going top left. That's pretty clear to me. I think that means the Anaheim Ducks are going to be challenging Seattle, who do have Connor McDavid on their squad along with Paul Coffey. A very dangerous team. There's a lot of talent on these two squads. I tell you what, it has been constant bloodshed between Titans so far. We have not gotten a ton of small little matchups and hardly any power-ups yet. It looks like power-ups are going to be a huge late game thing for us. All these teams just want to straight throw fists over and over again. Wow. Are you serious? Am I tripping? McDavid is on Seattle, right? Paul Coffey's on Seattle. Did they get lost on the way to the arena? What happened to them? Connor McDavid has made his way to the Anaheim Ducks. McDavid next to Eichel, the 1-2 punch, number 1 overall, number 2 overall. Another very large land acquisition. And the rich keep getting richer as the board expands, with orange, blue, and red being predominant colors. Still all 4 mushroom power-ups, 2-player power-ups. Our next squad competing in NHL Imperialism. The St. Louis Blues, a new team. All right, can we get a new team or a power-up? Please do not just feed into a go. Don't tell me that's New Jersey. Oh my, wait, hang on, analyze. Where's the arrow? Down to the, okay. No matter what, it's down, right? Okay, yeah, we're giving them the power up. We're giving them the power up. The St. Louis Blues are going to be the first team, finally, to pick up a mushroom power up. Now, again, there are only 4 power ups, and there are only 4 options here. The St. Louis Blues get to steal any player. Well, Ducks fans, I mean, you sure had your fun with McDavid, but I mean, he's the highest overall guy in the game. And the Blues can use a bit of everything. So say goodbye to Connor McDavid. He's now in St. Louis. All right, next team, not the Devils. Wait, Montreal Canadiens. They basically have one place that they can go. We'll spin the arrow, but it's not gonna matter. Yeah, they don't have boats, okay? They do not have boats up in Montreal. No matter what they got, they were going one place, and that's to Toronto, right? I don't think any, again, I'm no geologist, but I don't know if any of this connects right here. Is this a state? No, this is water, right? I feel like this might be a state. No, I don't think so. All right, plus I don't want them to jump over here. You got to make your way up the main wiener. You want to get this player upgrade. You got to make your way up here. This will be the first game from the Canadiens. They're going to have to pull off a pretty huge upset here if they want to beat the Leafs, but it is possible. Matthews, Tavares, Pizzetta. Yeah, it's Pizzetta. Oh my God. Somehow the depth is even beaten up. Yeah, that's going to be game. Canadiens, I kind of set them up, but sorry, Canadiens fans out there. You know, you get to watch your player go on one of the best teams and compete to be the last team standing. So be thankful. Not everyone gets that. Some people are fans of the Kraken and all of their players are gone. Nick Suzuki is the highest rated Montreal Canadian. That could change. in coming years. We've got Demidov, the young gun coming up. Be interesting to see how he does in some franchises, but that's for other videos. Let's not get sidetracked. Nick Suzuki on the Maple Leafs, another center. God, this team still needs defense and still needs a goalie. And they could definitely get both of them considering their new position. They're right next to New York. I think Panarin is rated higher than Shesterkin. Might be wrong. New game, of course. I definitely know Hellebuyck is the highest rated goalie in the league, despite his playoff qualms. How many teams have a goalie as their highest rated player? It might just, I mean, wait, I'm just realizing a lot of the goalies are out of the game. If Shesterkin's not the highest rated Rangers player, no highest rated goalie, no highest rated, I think a huge advantage comes to whoever plays the Jets. Honestly, I did not expect goalies to be so extinct, especially so soon. But speaking of Calgary and the Flames, they are going to be the team and they're going to have a chance to go play the Jets, but they're not gonna. They're going to be headed straight for another mushroom power-up. Now that we're kind of into this, we're actually getting a ton of power-ups. That's 2 mushrooms down, 2 to go. We've still got, obviously, I just said 2 mushrooms left, but also 2 player power-ups. Let's see what we end up picking up on the power-up wheel. 3 more to pick from, and they're going to get an extra life. The Calgary Flames have to be beaten twice to be kicked out. That means it's back to the wheel spin for the Wheel of Teams, and the New York Rangers, we're about to find out about Shesterkin, I guess. They're going to be headed straight, almost straight south, a little bit to the right, and they're gonna see the Boston Bruins. Sorokin's the highest rated Bruin, isn't he? I do remember. Boston versus New York. Oh! Game's over in the first period. New York lays the beat down, pull the belt out, whip his ass. Okay, that game happened 2 seconds ago. I think New York won. I already forgot, but I'm going to say New York won. I forgot that, but I remember I said Sorokin was the highest rated Boston Bruin. Who's this guy? Pasternak? Never heard of this guy before. I think this is a glitch in the game. Pretty sure Sorokin's the highest rated on that team, who came from Islanders, of course. Never heard of this Pasternak guy. This fight was not a huge chunky battle. It's actually relatively small. New York takes over Boston, and after the huge, land losses we've been seeing, it's a nice, refreshing, smaller battle. The map is looking very, very different. Not that many teams left. Some teams haven't played yet. Florida, Philadelphia, the Sabres, Chicago. They've played. I guess, hang on. I definitely should have done this. I do know something about geography. I know Michigan has this little niblet up here. That's also a part of Michigan. Sorry about that. Only 2 of the LA teams haven't played yet. The Ducks have, and they're taking over a bunch of stuff. Next up on the wheel of teams, speaking of a team who hasn't played yet, the Philadelphia Flyers. Where will they be heading? Straight down to their deaths? Is that where New Jersey is? It is. Coughing Baby versus Atomic Bomb. Holy overtime. I have to watch this one. I don't even care if it's boring. This has to be a joke. The Philadelphia Flyers are going tit for tat with this Devils team.
3 hours later.
Oh, whoa! Greasy by Travis Konechny in front of the net. The New York Rangers are out. They were a favorite, and now they are gone. Wow. Someone's got to tell me how this game was close. Look at these squads. Nikita Kucherov is going to be headed to Philadelphia. As good of an addition that is, I would not trust this team against any other team. Like, they could lose any... Okay, they're probably not losing against the Blackhawks, but they could lose almost any game, and all of this talent is gone. Crosby, Hughes, Bratt, Ovi, Hischier. All of this talent is gone. Philadelphia, with a whacked-out team, somehow completes an upset. This is absolutely nuts. The hugest land grab, like smallest compared to how big they're getting, comes from Philadelphia and the New Jersey Devils. Early favorites, the first real favorites to win it all, are officially out. That is a huge shakeup. All we can do is keep moving. Next wheel spin, we get the San Jose Sharks, another new team. Where will San Jose be headed? Down to the left, that's to the Kings, I believe. Yes, it is. A couple of California teams are gonna duke it out. Little death match between the so far forgotten California team. San Jose goes up 3-rip. Holy comeback by LA. I'm not watching this overtime. Tyler Toffoli takes it away. LA definitely would have been the heavier favorites. They outshot them twofold. But San Jose pulls away with the victory here. Who is the highest rated player on LA? Anze Kopitar, tied with Drew Doughty, tied with Kempe. I guess I'll just diagnose what does San Jose need? I think they need defensemen. So I'm actually going to give them Drew Doughty. Wouldn't say he's their best player in real life, but I think in the video game, he's who's going to help out this San Jose team the most. Not that it's going to be super important. They really only have one way to go, and that is straight into the Ducks, who have collected all the territory around them and who have a vastly superior team. There is nowhere else for them to go. Our next NHL team, we're going to be riding away with the Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, I said earlier, I don't think they're going to win a game. Let's see if that comes true as they head south for a Buffalo versus Philadelphia matchup. First period, no goals. Second period, Philadelphia goes up 2-1, then 4-1. Buffalo does end up losing. Buffalo Sabres has to be Rasmus Dahlin. It is. Philadelphia is not, I mean, they're still not top 1A contenders. I don't know if Philadelphia does make up for how big of a space they hold with how good their team is, but Dahlin is a very, very good addition to this team, and they are starting to look at least a little bit dangerous. But they are still one of the most exposed teams. It's going to be tough for them to survive. Next team, looks like we're landing on San Jose again or Philadelphia again. What direction are they going to head, however, is a different question. A little bit up and to the right. I think that puts them against New York. It does. New York, who of course picked up Pasta. This should be close, although again, New York does have a nice team right now. Those pickups in Philly are nice as well. Pasta puts 2 in the first period. Does he go for a hat trick? No, but Philadelphia is done already. They had the hugest upset so far against New Jersey. The New York Rangers are going to have one of the best goal scorers in the league in David Pastrnak and 2 of the best playmakers in the league in Kucherov and Panarin. That should be an offensive titan of a line if they had a center, but none of them are centers, so JT Miller's probably going to center that first line, and then Panarin probably comes down to second line. Rest in peace, Philadelphian Empire. Honestly lasted quite a bit, won a couple of games, very entertaining, but your time has come. New York now controls the bottom right, and teams are dwindling. There are only 10 teams left, and there is a lot of land. The current favorites, I'd say, are the Leafs up in the middle, the Ducks, Calgary, of course. Have they played a single game yet? I don't know if they have. Has Calgary just picked up 2 power-ups? They just have an extra life and Mario Lemieux. They're still, I'd put them in the running. They have 2 chances and one of the greatest players of all time. The Jets, the Blackhawks, and the Panthers are the only teams to not play a single game yet. That could change with this wheel spin as the Calgary Flames, I don't think they've played a game yet. I don't know if I said them, but they're playing a game right now. I don't think there's any more power-ups they can hit. They're going north. That would be the Ducks. Calgary versus Anaheim. A strange thought to think Calgary is traveling north and the team they're playing is the Anaheim Ducks. But they're going to have 2 chances at it. 2 opportunities to beat Connor McDavid and put him on their team right next to Mario Lemieux. This should be, honestly, relatively even given the chances. Oh, Calgary goes up and Mikael Granlund drags it to overtime. I'm not going to watch the overtime, and Anaheim does end up winning, but that's okay. Remember, Calgary has 2 lives, so they get 1 more crack at it. Gonna need a huge game out of Lemieux for this. No goals through the first 2 periods. And Anaheim just sends them packing. Where is Lemieux? Lemieux played 24 minutes and put up 3 shots. Wow. Wait, I forgot. Connor McDavid is not on the Ducks. He got stolen. He's on the Blues now. The Flames had Mario Lemieux and their regular squad. They couldn't pull one game out of their ass. Wow. I mean, these are pretty similar teams without McDavid on the board. Both Calgary lives are gone. The Ducks now have potentially, I'd say, the largest landmass, but definitely not the best team. It's getting closer and closer and closer. Next team up, we've got the Detroit Red Wings. They've been silent for a long time, and they're going to be headed up and to the left, where they're going to face... Oh, actually? Ooh. Interesting spot. Up and to the left, is that from here and they face Toronto, or is that up and to the left into the mushroom? No, because they can't cross water. We've established that as a rule already. They'd have to go through this giblet right here. And they can't do that because it's to the left. So they're going to get a mushroom power-up from Wisconsin. What is that power-up going to be? Only 2 left user team. This concept's pretty simple. I'm going to just keep the mushroom here so I don't forget that Detroit has this. The next game Detroit plays, I will be usering only in the 3rd period, so it's not a guaranteed win. If Detroit goes down a ton and they're playing a really good team, plus, you know, I haven't really played much NHL 26 yet. The scoring could be a little bit different. This could not be a guaranteed win, but I think they probably have a better chance with me playing as a user than they would trusting the simulation. Next team up, we've got Chicago. Chicago has not moved yet, but Chicago will be moving straight up and to the right. Speaking of that user, I probably didn't need to keep the mushroom because I'm going to remember, but it's going to be Chicago against the Red Wings. Well, there is no rule that says you can save this power up. A bit of a waste from my jump in for this power up, a bit of a disappointment, but I've also seen 3-goal comebacks before. So ensuring a victory for the Red Wings here will be nice. Of course, they've already picked up Zach Werenski from the Blue Jackets. They will probably definitely picking up Connor Bedard. That's basically the only player on this team.
A few moments later.
Red Wings did end up winning, but I didn't score, and slightly wasted power-up, I'd say. Obviously, I don't want to forget to move Connor Bedard over. Regardless, they will take their victory, and I'm going to take a whole bunch of land here just to get rid of these white spots. But they are now surrounding this player power-up, and if New York is really the only team that can go and collect this player power-up, so we might not actually see Gretzky at all. Things are consolidating. Time for another spin on the wheel of teams. And we get Anaheim or Detroit. Detroit is going back to back. Where will they be headed? To the left and down. We've got some mini matchups here. St. Louis, who went on to take this power up and steal McDavid, has not moved since. And now Detroit going to be playing them. All the heavy hitters are taking a little bit of a break here. We have not seen the Leafs move in a long time. Will the Connor McDavid-led Blues have something to say? It's tied 3-3. McDavid shows out, but he's out. Detroit comes away with this one off of Patty Kane. Showtime heartbreaker. Detroit is definitely emerging as a bit of a dark horse pick here. McDavid, Werenski. I mean, they've got some nice depth going on, and picking up McDavid is definitely a huge boost to the offense. Watch out for Detroit. Good words to live by. Although it kind of looks like their best way out of here would be to pick up this player boost, this player upgrade, because they are still surrounded by the Rangers, who are quite well, and especially the Leafs. I don't know if they have an edge on the Leafs currently. They could pick up Gretzky, though. That would turn the tables. St. Louis really just came in, stole McDavid, and then dipped. Our next team, finally, the Winnipeg Jets are going to make their move, and they're going to be headed straight. Oh my gosh, is that it is. To the Leafs. This is honestly perfect. Exactly what the Leafs want. They still think they can win this game, and they really want to pick up Connor Hellebuyck. Here we go. Winnipeg, regular season heavy hitters. No acquisitions for them yet, but they're still going to hang 1-1 with Toronto through the first period. McKinnon and Kyle Connor go back and forth. Second period, no goals. Third period, it's still tied. I've not been having the greatest time watching these games play out, but this could be hugely pivotal. The ramifications of this game could very well decide the end of this video. I gotta see what happens.
20 minutes later.
I think of the major sports games, no lie, EA maybe has the worst AI. I'm going to help them out a little bit. Game speed is going all the way up, and we're just going to decrease the goal reaction time to 20. Hopefully that makes it so we get more shots, and some of these shots they're taking actually go in, because if I have to wait for another greasy Konechny goal, we're going to be here for a minute. Matthews misses the pass. Oh my God! If the Jets win off of that, that is nuts. Goalie reaction time halved, by the way. Even more than half. It was at 20, right? Up the side, big turnover to Kyle Connor. Shifley. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Oh my God. Almost a highlight reel goal. Oh! Kyle Connor wins the game. The Maple Leafs, a team who were heavy favorites, officially lost. Kaprizov, Stützle, Suzuki were not enough for this team. They could have had the perfect outcome picking up Connor Hellebuyck. Instead, they are completely eliminated and give away Nathan MacKinnon. The Winnipeg Jets are now serious dogs. Despite only adding one player to their team, obviously, they were already an extremely nasty squad and now are even nastier. By far, the biggest land acquisition we've had so far. The Winnipeg Jets take over almost half of the map. They just took absolutely everything and are now at the center point of everything. 6 teams now remain, a lot of them powerhouses. The game is heating up, and our next team is going to be the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit is going to be heading north and a little bit east, and that's going to land them in front of Winnipeg. This one might be kind of close. Detroit has by far picked up more players, but Winnipeg was by far the more solid team going into this. They just beat the best team who would improve through pickups without picking up anybody. So Winnipeg is a huge, if there ever was a dark horse, it might actually be Winnipeg. No one thought or heard of them for the entire run. And their first game, they wipe out the top dogs. Period 1, Detroit scores first. Okay, period 2, it evens out. Period 3, Detroit rips the Jets apart. I'm shocked. McDavid, 1 assist. Lucas Raymond scored them both. The goal, Connor Hellebuyck is gone. So many goaltenders are gone. No matter who won this game, it was going to be Nathan MacKinnon playing right next to Connor McDavid. But which team that would be on, that was what we were going to find out. And it turns out Nathan MacKinnon and Connor McDavid are going to be playing alongside each other for the Detroit Red Wings. Only 5 teams remain. The Winnipeg Jets are no more. Maybe this spot is the cursed spot for a logo. You know, honestly, I wouldn't have been too surprised if you said Detroit was going to make it this far. I wouldn't have been too surprised if you said the Rangers were going to make it this far. I wouldn't have been surprised if you said Florida Panthers would make this far. I would have been shocked if you said they wouldn't have played yet. And still, I think they have a chance to win it all. I'm shocked how have the Sharks and the Ducks made it this far? 2 of the worst teams in the NHL. We're almost done, and the wheel looks a hell of a lot different now than it used to. Detroit is up at bat again. Where will they be headed? Up and to the left is that is the Ducks. Detroit and the Ducks, the 2 biggest landowners right now, are going to duke it out head to head. Still 3 power-ups left on the board. Should probably stop calling them Detroit and start just calling them, Red Wings and the Ducks and such, because they're not really in their home states and cities anymore. Period 1, Anaheim and Red Wings tied. Bedard, McDavid score. McTavish and Trouba are somehow going bar for bar with Bedard and McDavid. Oh my God, there goes Mario Lemieux. Our first time seeing him pop up, and he puts a hat trick in 1 period. McDavid stepping up. The Brinkets here. Everyone's contributing. Period 3, no one scores. Yeah, one of the largest games, potentially the most impactful game. I'm not watching it. Oh my God. I really thought Detroit was going to win this, but Anaheim comes away with it. The Anaheim Ducks are now beyond favorites to win it all. Detroit definitely had the edge. It's not that insane that Anaheim won this, but oh my God, Connor McDavid next to Mario Lemieux, next to Jack Eichel, the game winner by Clayton Keller. I got to go see what these lines are going to look like. What are we running with? McDavid at center. We're putting Lemieux out to the side. I will say, This entire series has been very offensive player focused. A lot of the defensive players are just gone. We still have Adam Fox and all of the players on Florida, but other than them, they're pretty much all gone. And the Ducks are about to own, the Ducks are going to own everything. The Ducks just took over. They own practically the entire map at this point, but we're doing single game elimination. Any of these teams can lose. Anything could happen with this last power up. There's 2 players out here. Gretzky potentially could go on one of these teams. It'd be nuts if you went to the Ducks. 4 teams left. One of the last spins, New York Rangers. The Rangers are going to be going to the left. You might think that's, that could be a couple of things, honestly. We're getting to a point where it's kind of tough. That could be this power up. That could be the Ducks, or that could be this power up. I'm going to do something just because I know what's going to happen. You guys don't know what's going to happen with this next power up. I'm going to give the Rangers this power up. So Rangers expand their territory, pick up that power up, which, there's only one power up left, and it's going to be the Death Ray. The Death Ray power up is something that's very special. I'm very proud that I came up with this. Basically, we're going to take a giant Death Ray and just cut off the tip of Florida. Just the tip. All right. That's what she asked. She said, was just the tip in? No, that was everything. All right. 2 inches, take it or leave it. Just the tip of Florida is going because I do hate the Florida Panthers, and they have won 2 Stanley Cups in a row. I will say, I did not think they wouldn't get picked at all. I thought, they'd kind of work their way up and get some players, and then I'd get to kill them. It's a little bit less satisfying that they just sat down here as a little nub, and now I cut them off. But I do, I fucking hate Florida. And if you're a Florida fan, this is personal. This is an insult to you. I designed that power up specifically just so I had an excuse to get rid of Florida. All right, 3 teams left. Next team. This is completely fair. The San Jose Sharks. They are completely surrounded by the Ducks, so it doesn't matter which way the arrow goes, but the arrow goes straight towards it. They're not scared. They're ready for the smoke. It's going to be San Jose versus the Ducks. I've got to say this matchup is a little bit lopsided, but through the amount of upsets we've seen, I just cannot count the Sharks out. Period 1, score is 0-0. Period 2, score 0-0. Period 3, McDavid and Keller do put the game away. I was a little bit nervous there. I honestly thought the Sharks might win, but McDavid does step up. Clayton Keller steps up again. He's been super clutch in these games. And who is Anaheim stealing? Are they just going to steal Drew Doughty? Way back when? What a throwback that is. How long has it been since Drew Doughty was stolen from the Kings into San Jose? With that, there are officially 2 teams left. 1 will win, 1 will lose. Let me clean this up a little bit. There is a couple of slight complications, though, I will say, and I will get to them in a second. There are still 2 power-ups left on the board, 1 in between them, 1 over on this little nub. Here's how I'm going to do it. We're going to spin the team wheel to pick a team, then the player wheel to pick a player. 1 player each team. Detroit gets whoever the player wheel lands on. They obviously want Gretzky, but either way, it will be an upgrade. They do not get Gretzky. The odds are slightly even. The Ducks are going to pick up Lindstrom, which is, of course, great for their team, but the Rangers get the great one. The Ducks lineup, it's so juiced. On defense, especially, we were missing that defensive presence going around. They just picked up Drew Doughty and Nicholas Lindstrom. New York, on the other hand, just picks up the great one, has them next to Kucherov and Panarin, the all playmaking line of all time on that first line. On defense, though, there's some struggles. They're definitely not as good. Adam Fox is still a 90 overall, though, and in between the pipes, they do have Shesty. We are still going single knockout. This is for all of the marbles. Anaheim versus New York, even though I gotta stop calling them by their city names because they are no longer comprised of just their cities. Anaheim is massively bigger. The teams are strikingly close. No matter what, I will watch the end, even if I have to watch the CPUs play each other for a million periods in a row. Anaheim takes a 2-goal lead. Radko Gudas! Who would have thought on this Anaheim team, Gudas would be the one scoring? Oh my God. 4 goals, 1 period. Radish, Trocheck, Schneider, Miller. That seals the game. There is no way Anaheim can come back from this. The Rangers with the great one have a 100 overall offense. I'll see what happens in the 3rd period. We're going to watch it through, but it looks like the game might be over and New York might win. NHL 26 Imperialism, last team standing. Over halfway through this period, no goals for either team. Things are dire for Anaheim. Things are excellent for New York. 1 minute left on the clock. Can Anaheim scrape anything together when they haven't scored yet? They're bringing the trophy out. It's over. It's over. New York wins it all, or the Rangers win it all, I say. They're not New York anymore. They're everything. They are the last team standing. The Ducks are heartbroken. McDavid loses in the finals again, this time to the greatest of all time. It is officially over and done with. The Ducks are gone. New York is what remains. The entirety of the United States and Canada are now New York, except for this. Nugget, hate you. Go away, Florida. All right. There we go. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you a ton for watching. If you haven't already, consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. If you want to see something live, NHL, me and my friends playing, go follow my Twitch. It's the first link in the description. I will be doing some NHL 26 events. If you want to join those, if that sounds interesting to you, go to my Discord. It's the 2nd link. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you a ton. I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.